We are on the precipice of one of the greatest wealth transfers in history. And in order for new financial systems and wealth to be created, old systems need to die and make way. As recently, Brics nations just met at their annual summit, and Putin revealed some shocking information that we're going to cover in this video. And this makes sense as one of the most knowledgeable financial insiders and billionaires in modern history confirms that the global world order is shifting and people no longer want to hold dollars. As systems change, fiat currencies become inflated and new technologies arrive. This is where new emerging blockchain technologies are finally getting the attention they deserve and are becoming widely accepted among financial institutions, as reports from the BIS and even one of the world's largest consulting firms, McKinsey, shares another report on asset tokenization. Already we're seeing more partnerships with Ripple and major institutions underway. The SEC lawsuit be damned. Now, many folks in the XRP community believe that Ripple technology and XRP will be the backbone to this new global financial system, and already we're seeing more and more of those signs. Just the other day, Brad Garlinghouse admitted that 95% of their business is outside of the United States. So we'll be covering all of the above in this video and doing a quick dive into the daily price action on Ripple and whether or not it's a good time to buy. So if you're feeling blessed and bullish, comment 777. And if you're going to be the wealthiest person in your family tree, smash the subscribe button. Before we dive in, a quick reminder that the opinions in this video are for informational and educational purposes only and do not constitute financial, legal, or investment advice. All investments, including cryptos, carry risks and potential losses. Always do your own research and consult with a licensed financial advisor. We are not licensed financial advisors, and relying on our content for financial decisions is at your own risk. By watching this video, you agree we are not responsible for any losses or damages, and we do not guarantee any specific results or outcomes. Some of the links below may be affiliate links, and we may earn a commission, which actually helps support this channel and helps us to create value-based videos like this. We also hold some positions in the cryptocurrencies that we talk about, but that's only because we do what we believe in. However, this should not be interpreted as a recommendation for you to do the same. With that said, let's get into the video. Hello and welcome back to the Bull Runners channel. My name is Paul if you're new here. And first and foremost, we're going to cover how the Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse basically stated on Bloomberg that an XRP ETF approval is essentially inevitable. And live, he basically stated that they are clearly seeing that ETFs have been popular. And since the Bitcoin ETF approval, over $17 billion has flowed and is the fastest growing ETF in history. It's far outpaced gold and virtually everything else. It clearly demonstrates that there's demand from institutions and retail to access an asset class in a regulated manner, which is eventually going to make baskets of currencies in the digital sector inevitable, one of those majors being XRP, considering it is not a security. And here is Brad Garlinghouse himself sharing exactly that on Bloomberg.
Your co-founder, Chris Larsen, has given a lot of money to the Harris campaign. You had just told us a little bit ago that you are fiercely independent. And so when you think about the differences in the candidates and how they might approach crypto, what do you really know, particularly because the Harris campaign has been far more vague?
Well, I think there's one thing I feel very confident about, and that is the Biden administration's approach to regulation of the crypto industry. That is coming to an end for sure. And I think no matter where this plays out at the presidential level, we'll have a more constructive engagement with this industry. It's a critical industry, it's an innovative technology, and I think the United States should be at the forefront and leading, as we did with the Internet of Information. I think we'll get there. As I said yesterday at the Philadelphia Federal Reserve, I think Gary Gensler's reign of terror on the crypto industry is going to come to an end very soon.
Brad, in your view, does it matter if Kamala Harris is president come January 20th or Donald Trump is president come January 20th? What's better for you? What's better for Ripple?
Well, I've taken a very neutral point of view. For the crypto industry, I think it's clear that the Republicans at a macro level have been more proactive in saying this is an industry that needs clear regulation. You have seen a Republican-led bill in the House pass with 71 or 72 Democrats crossing the aisle to support that in a very bipartisan way. So I think we have seen a more Republican-centric, but I also think you've seen indications that the Harris campaign wants to reset some of the very flawed approaches that the Biden administration has had with the crypto industry and other parts of technology. So what I'm optimistic about is we're going to see a change. We're going to see a reset. And I think we need that at the federal level. The United States, there's no question, the United States is behind other leading countries like the UK, like Switzerland, like Singapore, like Japan, that are way ahead in providing constructive and clear regulation and rules of the road for this industry.
So although it would be quite nice to have the largest financial market in the world adopt XRP through a spot ETF, he's basically saying it's inevitable because it doesn't matter who comes into the office this next election or turn, that ultimately we're going to get far more regulatory clarity and approval from the government. But even then, if we didn't, at the end of the day, Ripple's business is about 95% outside of the United States. Listen to what he recently shared.
So, we have already moved a lot of our activity, and frankly, 95% of our customers are non-U.S. So a lot of our activity has been outside the U.S. jurisdiction because that's where our customer demand is. But I think that's where the U.S. is losing.
And what Brad Garlinghouse shared is true. The majority of their business is outside of the United States, as they even announced a new customer, which is Garanti BBVA, and they are leveraging Ripple Custody and IBM to bring the highest security and performance to its growing crypto trading platform. Now, Garanti BBVA is actually the second largest bank in all of Turkey. And they're going to be collaborating with Ripple and IBM to provide a secure environment for their crypto asset trading platform. The combined solution from Ripple Custody and IBM, which is a major company, enabled the bank to securely build, deploy, and manage institutional-grade key management infrastructure with end-to-end security to protect private keys, applications, and data for all of their customers. And this is just one example of how Ripple is really at the tipping point in the global financial economy. And Brad Garlinghouse isn't wrong. It's not just countries that are friendly with the US, but it's also our competitors with Brics nations. As China's CBDC is widely considered another tool of its surveillance state, countries like China, Iran, and Russia are responding to a perceived weaponization of the dollar. In other words, we've done nothing but sanctions on them, and now they're saying, well, screw off, we're going to do and build our own system of global finance. By embracing the build out of a new payment rails to evade sanctions, China has created a SWIFT rival, the cross-border interbank payment system, which as of May 2024 includes more than 1,500 participants in 115 countries. Brics is coming for our necks. And so Brics just had their global summit in Kazan, Russia, where Vladimir Putin shared something really interesting. And in an article from CNBC, they basically say that Russia pushes a new world order. That Russian President Vladimir Putin frequently comments on his ambition to establish what he calls a new world order to rival and usurp the geopolitical and economic preeminence enjoyed by the US-led West. And he wants to do this by beefing up Brics groups and nations, and already they are a major driver of global economic growth. In the foreseeable future, Brics will generate the main increase in global GDP, which means the US truly is falling behind, unless of course we start to adopt new technologies and financial systems. Now, I don't think anyone who really watches what's happening in the world doesn't agree with that statement. Even Paul Tudor Jones, one of the greatest investors in history, a billionaire and an insider, is basically stating that things have truly begun to change. And now here's his investment strategy as he shared on Squawk Box.
Given all of the things you're saying, are you off buying gold and Bitcoin and
I think all roads lead to inflation. We're going to end up,
but does all roads lead to inflation, therefore gold is a good investment? Is Bitcoin a good investment to you?
I'm long gold. I'm long Bitcoin. I think commodities are so ridiculously underowned. So I'm long commodities. I think most young people find their inflation hedges via the NASDAQ. That's also been great. It's probably some combination. I probably have some basket of gold, Bitcoin, commodities, and NASDAQ, something like that. And I would own zero fixed income. If I had my cash, it'd be very short term. The playbook to get out of this, you see it in Japan right now. They have 2% inflation, 30 basis points overnight. They don't want to raise rates. The playbook to get out of this is that you inflate your way out.
And Jones is not kidding, as our aggregate rate of inflation, in other words, the total amount of inflation or the amount that things have increased in price over the last 4 years from January of 2020 is sitting at 26%. Our government is addicted to printing dollars. They're addicted to spending. They don't care about our deficit or our debt to GDP ratio. They're going to continue to kick the can down the road because ultimately it makes the rich richer and the poor poorer. And this is exactly why we see Brics countries adopting new global financial systems, and we also see people worldwide flooding into cryptocurrencies. Here is a Bernstein analyst talking about Bitcoin's market cap and how he's expecting it to hit 7.5 trillion just this next year. Now, why does this matter for XRP? Because a rising tide raises all ships. If Bitcoin is doing well, I can assure you XRP will be doing well as well.
I think what we expect now is more a risk on side of the market to kind of turn on, and I think crypto is going to play a big part of that. We obviously expect the crypto market to triple from here, go to almost $7.5 trillion in terms of total market cap. And given obviously Robinhood is among the few brokers who provide a full suite crypto platform, we expect that the flexibility to kind of kick in with its sort of crypto revenues inflecting almost 9 times. So yes, it's been 2 years, I think, of fairly challenging period, given, we went through a fairly 24 hike in the rates and the overall risk environment was very different. Going forward, we think crypto is going to lead that charge in terms of its transaction revenues inflecting.
And so now imagine a world where Bitcoin is sitting at $7.5 trillion just as a hedge against inflation and reckless spending by governments. You're also going to have situations where companies like Ripple use the XRP token or the XRPL to create tokenized assets or real world assets that are going to be tokenized. Here is an article from McKinsey where they even share that Larry Fink, chairman of CEO from BlackRock, said in January 2024, "We believe the next step going forward will be the tokenization of financial assets, and that means every stock, every bond will be on a general ledger." This is where many people have conjecture that a lot of these transactions will be run on the Ripple ledger. As more and more institutions are rolling out and scaling tokenized products from tokenized bonds and funds to private equity and even cash. Now, just in yesterday's video, I did talk about how we had a bit of an ABC retrace. Here's your A, here's your B, here's your A, here's your B, here's your C. And then I said how we would actually probably get a bit of buying down here at the 52-cent range. And that seemed to play out pretty dang well, considering when you zoom out, and always when in doubt, zoom out, you can see that we have a lot of buyers stepping in pretty consistently at this range. When you pull up a VRVP, you can see we have even more support right there at the range. And so although other markets have actually sold off pretty hard, you can even see on a daily time frame, XRP not only failed to break down below this range, we have a very long, strong wick on the downside, indicating there are a lot of buyers between 52 cents all the way to 51 cents. Then the next candle, which is currently being printed right now, is a green candle. Now, it is not an engulfing candle. It's not very large. We don't have much volume behind it. However, what is nice and telling is that we have a long wick on the prior candle, and then we have virtually no wick or sell pressure in the next candle, which indicates that we're likely going to continue to trend up and back up to that 54-cent range over the upcoming week. So yes, nothing too exciting. Really what we're waiting for is a break above that 63 to 64 cent range. If we break above there, I think it's easy that we go to 74 cents, and 74 cents is the multi-year resistance. We break above that, we go to $2. So if you enjoyed the video, learned something new, be sure to like the video. It helps us out. And also head to bullrunners.com if you're ready to become a crypto millionaire. This is for you to join our early bird list for exclusive altcoin picks, market analysis, and even access our crypto education inner circle. Now, you're going to want to do this sooner rather than later, because we can only have so many people inside of the inner circle, and it is first come, first serve. We have not launched this yet, but we're getting very close. We put a lot of time and effort into this platform, and so we want to make sure that we're really servicing you guys to the best of our ability. Now, we can't have so many people because we want to kind of be able to answer questions and be live with you at times, and if we have too many people, we simply can't do that, which is why first come, first serve. The sooner you sign up through bullrunners.com. Just subscribe, right? You'll be able to reserve your spot on the list. So thanks so much for watching the video. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. You can find the link in the description or the bio below, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.